どうも皆さんこんにちは。ヒロムスキです。今回は前回の Tweek のキャラランク表の続きとなります。まだ見てない方はまずそちらをご視聴ください。前回に比べほぼキャラに触れてなくて、だいぶ大まかに話してるので物足りなく感じてしまうかもしれませんが、それでもスマブラの極論やだいぶ興味深い話をしているので、これはこれで楽しんでもらえると思います。コメント、高評価、チャンネル登録よろしくお願いします。それでは本編の方をどうぞ。
I think, someone like Ken and Olimar's strengths are enough for me to be like, okay, you're allowed an A tier. And then a character like Rosalina is more gatekeepy. But I do think Rosalina is quite strong. I think in terms of strong characters, it cuts off very early into B tier, like around like Rosa. I think Bowser is strong enough to have a spot in the tier list, but I think his weaknesses are so apparent. It's just up to his opponent to have the discipline to deal with it, right? I think that's a big thing with after A tier. It's up to the opponent to show how good the character is, I think, from B tier onwards. Where a character like A tier, I think a player can really force their skill no matter what the matchup is, right? But in B tier and lower, it comes to your matchup knowledge. It comes to how willing are you to play to these characters' weaknesses, because they're so apparent and right there. And obviously, a lot of players don't do that well. So that's why I think a character like Bowser might look a little stronger than he is. Obviously, most players don't put him too much lower, too much higher than this. But some players think Bowser's really good, but his weaknesses are way too clear for me to put him in something like A tier. And Ness is the perfect cutoff for a B tier too, because once again, we know what Ness's strengths are and we know what his weaknesses are, and it's up to you to deal with them properly. Online, you probably can't deal with them at all because he's so broken online, but we know what Ness's weaknesses are for like a million years now, so.
Yeah.
And then, I don't even know why I put Little Mac in his own tier. It does look funny, but yeah, it's kind of, once again, you put less effort into it as you get to like B tier. But I did try my best to order it. Little Mac just has the clearest weaknesses of any character in Smash history, kind of like what I was just talking about. It's up to you to deal with it. Whether you have the mental stamina to deal with it is another story. But it is technically the easiest character to counterplay in the whole game, despite being so terribly designed.
I think that's like something we're touching upon too, is like it's not just about a character finding success or whatever. It's that when you fight them the correct way, this is how good they are. You know what I mean? You want to assume that someone's fighting against them incorrectly. If you want to clash with a Little Mac and keep holding forward, running into him, yeah, he's probably like an A tier character. Like if you go and toe to toe with him every time, if you hit him once and camp him, you'll learn very quickly that he is horrible.
Yeah.
He is just so bad.
Yeah. And then you see a character like Luigi, where a lot of people would put him really high. Maybe I would put him somewhere else if I made the tier list today, or like maybe I'd put him higher or something. But I do value the weaknesses a bit more, just because Luigi has a million more weaknesses than he does strengths. And once again, it's up to you to deal with it properly. And most players don't, which is tough because, once again, Luigi is terribly designed where there's certain things that you can't do against him, and that sucks, but there is a lot of ways where he shouldn't be winning, and that's up to you to be able to do it. I
can't remember
as much mental stamina as that takes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't remember if we talked about it on air or not, but like the opponent chose that. They chose Luigi, so they forced your hand. Like no one wants to play that way. That's their fault. Like you know what I mean? You picked Luigi, so I'm gonna do this. Like I pick Ken and someone camps me, I'm not mad at them. Like, good, you're doing the right thing. Like that's not fun for us, but like it is. I don't blame you. Like that's the way you should do it.
And here's my clear difference in why I put Ken in A tier instead of like the top of B tier is I think despite getting camped so easily, he has more of a chance and more of a workaround than Luigi or Ness, I think. So it's barely enough, kind of like how Snake is barely enough to be S tier. I think. He's well-rounded enough, but very clearly not top tier. Same with Olimar. For Olimar, it's more of a matchup spread thing, and Olimar's more limited to his flowchart and game plan. It's really strong, but on paper there's a lot of matchups that suck, but it's flexible enough for me to respect it enough to put it in A tier. Yeah, I don't. Someone mentioned Tweek doesn't care if characters struggle to kill, because I don't think that exists. Because it's not about killing, more so about using the clock properly. First off, if you say Sonic can't kill, that's a lie. And second off, I don't care if he couldn't kill. I think would still put him in the same exact spot on the tier list, because it's not about killing. It's not. Same with Sheik. It's not about killing, even though technically she is still really good at it.
I think, yeah, the like 1 to 3 top, like, quote unquote, this character can't kill characters are Sheik. Inkling for sure is in that category, and I can't remember.
I just don't care.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, that's why he loves Inkling. It all makes sense. What do you mean she can't kill? If your character doesn't have a good recovery, she can. She can kill off stage.
Yeah, she can kill eventually, like everyone else. Who cares? If your neutral is that good.
Yeah. And like, just to be very clear, in terms of like where the top players are at right now, like how they play the game and what we see, it is very far from like optimal ultimate gameplay. I'm just going to make that very clear. And one of the big reasons is like, I mean, we're seeing it more and more, but players are starting to cap more and are starting to run the clock more. Like it like sucks, but like that is the sad truth of like how the game should be played. Like Zero Suit, like I understand when Mars says Zero Suit sucks, I understand, because the way he's trying to play Zero Suit, he's trying to run at people and just shit on them. Right? But like when I watch Japanese Zero Suits play, they literally land a hit and they're not trying to interact with it. And they don't have to, because trying to catch Zero Suit flip jumping is like trying to catch Sonic spin dashing. It's the same shit. Yeah. It's literally the same fucking thing. Like Zero Suit might be harder to get than Sonic, honestly.
In some situations, yes.
So it's
so B tier is like, you know, a very clear difference in terms of it's up to you to counterplay them, or it's up to you to play a character that is good enough to beat them, which most are. So and then Little Mac is like the most apparent. Like it's completely up to you, doesn't matter what character you're playing, there's a way to win. But yeah, we should probably wrap it up. I have a Metafy lesson